In total, I think just being a man is just trying to be 1% better every day.
Some people have to start at 6 years old, taking care of their sick mother because their father ran away. Some people start at 12.
I don't know how I don't know how you're gonna pay for that. And I was like, me? She's like, yeah, you. Like, how are you going to pay for it? And I was like,
Well, my father taught me everything I know, how to be a man, how to behave like a man. And some people don't like it nowadays, because that's too macho.
Feel this, whatever. Like, you're not going to take this good, but God told me to tell you that He loves you.
if you live at your parents' house, there's no reason for you not to be full-time working.
Welcome, everybody. This is our first segment, or actually a first episode of Men Unfiltered. This is a podcast inside of a podcast already from Unfiltered Circle Podcast. And today we're just men talking about what our everyday struggles are, what we have in common, and what really we want to talk about, because sometimes there's nobody else to talk to. So we got us here. And since this is our first episode and we're making this about men, what do you all consider? What is a definition of a man to you guys? What do you all think?
I guess I'll set the tone off young, because I guess technically I got a couple years of figuring out legally what a man is, but I feel like anybody growing up in certain circumstances, sometimes you become a man before the age of 18. I feel like for me, I had to become quote unquote a man as I was starting high school, having to figure out how to navigate the world in terms of just bills, finances, just how's life's gonna look like for me in terms of future education and things like that. I know that's kind of a micro way of looking at it, but that was just kind of how my process on trying to figure out what a man is. And I wouldn't say I had the best role models at first, but I think as I was trying to figure it out, and I'm still trying to figure it out, I feel like I'm getting more and more examples, whether it's through church, whether it's through work, whether it's just through this podcast, and just being around like-minded individuals. In total, I think just being a man is just trying to be 1% better every day. I keep saying that in a lot of podcasts, but I think that as men, we have big goals, we have big aspirations, but I think that sometimes we forget about those small goals of just, okay, for example, maybe I'm trying to advance this podcast in the audio space, and that's a goal, and that's something you've accomplished, I feel like, and it may be for you. I'm just trying to become, a better mechanic in a certain way, shape, or form, as just figuring out a job, troubleshooting, something like that. I think that a lot of times society puts so much stress on a man looking at like a certain way, but I think for every individual man, being quote unquote a man is going to be looked differently. And sometimes it's just those small goals that we accomplish every day that makes us men.
Yeah.
Now, did you grow up with a male figure in your house, a father?
I did, but I will say due to mental health that I did not, as I was becoming more and more a man, I didn't get to see it day in and day out, which I feel like between those years between 10 and, we'll say 10 and 18, I didn't get to see those examples of it. And I think that's where sometimes I'm going to say I lacked, but I didn't get, I guess, the full experience of father figures. But I had other people that helped out, my uncles, my coaches, things like that.
Now, when I grew up, I had a father, wasn't there all the time. My mother and father didn't have a good relationship. They were arguing a lot, and my father was in the Air Force, so he was always out a lot, supposedly, on trips, so he really wasn't. He was there sometimes, but not really there. I think in the last podcast, one of the podcasts I told you about, it was he wasn't very approachable on things. So, and I didn't go to him for anything. The only thing I went for him was, hey, can you help me with the car? And he would, but, it wasn't like he wanted to, it was a bother. Like I said, now he's a different man. So now he'll help me with anything I want. I could talk to him with anything I want. But back then, I didn't have that. I didn't have that role model or a man to tell me like, hey, this is what you got to do, shave your balls at this time, or make sure you're shaving this too, like I didn't have any of that shit to do, like to tell me these things or, hey, if you're going to start drinking, maybe you want to start here at home, let's start doing it here.
Wait, you shave your balls? No.
Yeah, I learned the hard way on that one. Yeah. It was an old razor, I think there. But I didn't have that, so I wasn't able to go to anybody. I had my grandfather, because I lived with my grandfather also, so I went with him with some things, but not really of a life of being a man. Honestly, I was ignorant growing up. I didn't know a lot of stuff because we were kind of poor, so we really didn't have much to go do. Me going out to a fancy restaurant was McDonald's. That was it. I thought that was the shit. But growing up, I'm like, man, McDonald's is not even the fancy restaurant. It's just just a regular restaurant, nothing popular, So.
Oh, on a side note, just in terms of like ordering a meal at McDonald's, did that make you feel like you were kind of rich, or was it like a dollar menu or things like that?
It was like the Sunday fancy restaurant back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, but honestly, I didn't really get to go do those things until I was in college.
Okay.
So even going when I was younger was a rare thing for me, My mom did work in some restaurants when I was younger, and we would go into restaurants, and we'd be there for hours because we were those kids waiting for my mom to get out, We'd be there after school, or while on the weekends she was working, we'll be in the little booth, like you see some kids there at some Mexican restaurants, and we would be there waiting, just waiting for her to get off, and she'll give us a burger or fries, whatever, and then that was it, So, but I really didn't have anybody to guide me through life, tell me what was wrong, tell me what I was doing wrong, tell me what I was doing right, tell me which way to go, And a lot of this I learned on my own. A lot of mistakes, I did a lot of mistakes. Luckily, I met my wife, because she was going through. She had her parents in her life, but they were kind of arguing too. But she had a little bit more guidance with her brothers and sisters. So when I met her, I was like, I guess I'm going to college, because college was never in my mind, about that. So she helped me guide me through life with her as a partner, and I was able to help her too at the same time. How about Carlos? What about you, man?
Oh, so what do I think about makes a man?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a lot of things.
Well, let's start when you were younger. What did I think your father was in life, but only at certain times, because you went to Mexico, U.S. back and forth.
Well, yeah. Well, my father taught me everything I know, how to be a man, how to behave like a man. And some people don't like it nowadays, because that's too macho. But I think a man should have respect for his elders, for women, for kids, for everybody, technically, right? And nowadays they don't have that, but I had it. They were very strict on me. I wasn't the best, but I'm glad they did what they did, because I think I needed it, or else I would have been somebody else completely. And I did have both my parents throughout my whole entire youth, and they taught me everything I needed to know in life, how to work. I learned to work and be responsible from a young age. And now, I'm still doing the same thing. And now I got to throw that into my kids, But
so now, as you're a father of two, one's already an adult, the other one's just going to start school next year, I think.
no, she's 5. She's already in kinder.
Kinder, okay.
Just started.
So
this year.
you got a daughter and a son. So how do you think your role is now as a father, a definition of a father with a daughter now?
Well, that's something new for me because I'm not used to being like all lovey-dovey, like kind of like taming a monster, like
I'll say gentle parenting.
yeah,
Gentle.
something like that, because I wasn't raised like that, and I didn't raise my son like that. But now I gotta do it different, because you can't do the same thing to girls that.
Because the good thing right now is she loves the outdoors.
Yeah.
She loves bugs, But I do see a lot of pink around her. So I know she likes girly stuff too at the same time.
Yeah.
So I mean, would you let her paint your nails and toenails, do your hair?
I'm waiting for that. She already did, actually. She put makeup on me, and
yeah.
I've
I've been there. I've done that too. Like it's
I was all full of makeup. I mean, I look like shit, man. Thank God I don't have any pictures of that. But but I mean, it's cute. I mean, I'm starting to learn how to kind of behave towards the softer side,
yes.
of me. But I guess that's what being a man is, right? You gotta learn and adapt. That's what the army taught me.
I thought it was in a movie. Was it so but what about is there a certain age that men become men, or is just a natural transition depending on your area or atmosphere or whatever?
I think the age when you become a man depends on your where you're growing up and what you're going through at the time. Some people have to start at 6 years old, taking care of their sick mother because their father ran away. Some people start at 12, or if you run away, you're the one that ran away, then you start whenever you left. Like me, I started when I left my parents' house at 17. I went on my own and started trying to make a life basically on my own, with what they had taught me.
Darwin, what about you? What was the age that you came to realize, like, shit, nobody's coming for me. Nobody cares. This is my life here,
I think for me,
Nobody's coming to give me lotion. Put the lotion on the skin.
No, I think for me, it was, if I feel like, I want to say 14 because I feel like that's when I really seen like bills in terms of just how like finances kind of worked and maintaining a home. But I would say for me, 17, I was applying for colleges and I got accepted to a college or university, and my mom we looked at like how much it was going to cost to pay for school, and she just chuckled at me and she was like, I don't know how you're going to pay for that. And I was like, me? She's like, yeah, you. Like, how are you going to pay for it? And I was like, wait, I got to pay for it? Like, is that a team thing? Is that a we thing? She's like, no, how are you?
I got you to the 12th grade.
Like, what are you, French? There's no we over here.
Literally.
You got this.
So I think, honestly, I remember that day because, that's when I joined in the military and everything like that. Well, I figured I had to figure out some sort of plan for college, but I think at 17 for sure, or actually no, that was 16. I knew that like life was gonna be different. I had to figure out how I was gonna pay for school, how I was gonna eventually provide just for myself, not just how am I going to just get by, like under my mom's roof.
Yeah, try doing that with a kid on their way.
Oh, brother. I'd have lost all my hair if I had to figure out that at the same time.
So let's go by this stereotype of a man, Let's go about these 4x4 trucks. Somebody's getting off, muscular and all that, getting off.
Compensating.
He has his hat on, whatever, his boots,
Hey, bro.
He just came from whatever, fishing and all that, and big old grizzly beard and all that. Or some guy with a fancy car, slim, has all these slick clothing on, nice dressed and all that, doesn't know how to fish, you know, can't fix a door or anything, are they both considered a man?
Yes. Because every man has their own strong side, you know? Like, I'm strong. This guy's strong in the countryside and fishing and doing whatever, you know, that type of man do. And this other guy is a city guy that does well in stocks, does well doing this, does well doing that. But I don't see anything wrong with either of them, you know?
So then what is the foundation of a man? Is it providing for your family, being there for your family, disciplining your wife, disciplining your kids? Or did I mess up on one?
I looked.
Did I mess up on one?
I looked.
Disciplining your wife.
I
I'm
looked
like,
at them like, what do you like this kind of discipline, or like
Yeah,
this kind of
that
discipline?
kind of discipline. Is that a man?
Okay, open
No.
hand discipline.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No,
No,
we
we shouldn't
can't.
do that.
We shouldn't do that.
Okay. I'm just making
Can't.
sure.
Even though-
But the first two.
People do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
their
yeah.
responsibility, they're taking care of them. That should be a thing that's been injected in you since the humanity started. You know, like, I gotta be responsible for my kids and my wife, right? So everything else,
Because we had a discussion here last, I think 2 weeks ago on our podcast, which it didn't come out, you know,
Didn't
which is
come out?
good.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good it didn't, because it got very heated, you know. And one person was saying that nowadays there's more women are the main providers than men are right now.
I don't think
I
so,
think,
dude.
and that was the thing, is that I think now that women have the ability to provide
Provide for themselves.
for themselves, but there is still, like you said, there's still a genetic, or I don't know the proper term, like just a natural thing for women to want to be paired with a man that is able to provide. So, you know, he's going to be able to provide, I would say, nature or the environment, and women can nurture that same environment.
Now, she was partially right. I mean, nowadays it's more women are becoming the main breadwinners, but it's not it's not like a big number now. You know, it's increased, but men are still the main providers now. You know, which nowadays is some men are staying home, and the women are making the.
I don't know. I'm not just comment on that. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't see or known of any of my friends or anybody that I know or anybody that any of my friends know that just stays at home with the kids, cleans the house, and do everything while the women provide.
No,
like we do.
Right now, just make more money.
Okay.
Just make more money.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, yeah, they make
Just
more money, but to take the responsibility that we do and we want to have sometimes, like you stay at home, you don't work, you take care of the kids, keep the house clean, and make the meals whenever the time comes.
I'm waiting to be that. I'm waiting.
We're still waiting, right? Since
I'm waiting to do that. I want that. I wish I could do that.
But I'm just saying, I haven't heard of any women doing that. That the man stays at home. I mean, that would be a dream. I'll go to the gym. I'll clean the house if I can, quick. Take care of the kids. I take the kid with me. And
So it's not that we don't want to. It's just that we don't have the the person to do it. You know, I mean, we just don't have the opportunity to. Now, would you consider that less of a man by doing that?
I don't consider it less of a man, but I wouldn't feel uncomfortable because I don't know. I think it's in my DNA to be the one taking care of the family, providing, protecting.
Well, I think the only thing she's doing is doing the financial, because you're still protecting, you're still overseeing everything. You know, that just the protector alone. The protector is first, is she getting, she has the car to go to work. She has the car is maintained well, She has whatever she needs to go to work. Whenever she comes back, the house is protected. When she sleeps, is protected. Wherever you all go together, she's protected. So the protection, I don't think, goes away. I think financially she's just providing, you know. Now, if it's substantial, like if she's making 3 times the amount that you make regularly, I don't see that as a problem.
It's not a problem, but I wouldn't feel comfortable.
You won't feel comfortable with you do it. But you
I don't know.
like say,
I mean, I'll try it.
No.
If there's any women out there that wants to take care of me, just watch this podcast.
so like right now, Scarlett, right? Say you met somebody, she makes 3 times the amount as you make, and she says, you know what? Stay home with the kid, make sure she's good, take care of the house. I got you.
Yes, it'll be good, but I don't know. In my
Is that
mind,
wishful
what
thinking?
I've known, women's mentality, when they are making more money than the man, they kind of diminish you, you know, like,
Okay.
and eventually it ends up in, fuck this guy. That's what, you know.
So that's your take on it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe you could probably just got the wrong woman if that happens. You know, I'm just saying that could be.
Well, I
a-
haven't
a
got
choice.
any.
I know. I'm just saying
you know?
that this is a hypothetical, right? It's hypothetical, because realistically, if that happening, I'm sure there's guys out there. Lucky you guys, but you know, good for you. I'm like,
Good
man,
for you. If
can you give my wife a job?
if my, let's just say for example, my wife, if she today I think made 3 times as much more than I make, just give me the apron with my name on it. I'm ready. And I say that now because I'm not gonna lie, I see where Carlos comes from. There's a little piece of my ego where I'm gonna have to figure out how to kill it, because
Yeah, when she comes home and tells you, why isn't the fucking dinner ready? Huh?
you know, I don't want it to be reversed like 1965 where she like hits me with the briefcase because her dinner's cold. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta
Stiletto. It'll be a stiletto.
with a stiletto,
But
There
it'll
we
be
go.
stuck in you.
Exactly.
Fucking peasant. Know your place.
I gotta be prepared for that. But
I'm like, you're like Darwin at the family picnic. Why do you got sunglasses on?
Don't worry about it.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, ow. I'm like, what's going on here, man?
every time somebody like tries to pat on the back, I just flint.
Exactly. Wow.
No, but there's a part of my ego where I'm going to have to figure out how to just kill that part. But I think that like we're talking about, like providing is so much more than financial, because even as men that do provide financial, there's still so many aspects emotional, and there's so many things that day in and day out that you have to provide for. Like you were talking about the car, first thing that came into my mind is like, does my wife have gas? Like I gotta make sure like, gas tank and everything like that is good. There's just so many other aspects where,
See, the thing is, I think you guys are thinking this wrong. I think you're not thinking it full through. I don't think you can't have a job. I don't think you can have a side hustle. I just think that she's the main breadwinner. Now, for me, if that was to happen, I'll still have this podcast, and I'll still have like my side stuff,
Hey, that's if she lets you.
Nah.
Yeah.
Again,
She's paying
then
for
you
everything,
have the
bro.
wrong woman.
No.
But even if you had the wrong woman, would you stop?
That's what they become.
no,
No.
I'm not.
I don't think so. I think you got to have the right woman. I mean, if that's not the right woman, if you're being belittled, it's just like a man to a woman. If you're belittling the
but
woman,
we don't normally do that, Like, you try to, the more money you have, you try to take care of them better, like, oh, here you go buy your this, go buy that.
Yes.
Your kids too.
Yes.
The more money they have, they think they're like, oh, I don't need this fucking guy anymore.
And I think it's all about the woman, I think for you that you're thinking that, I think you're choosing the wrong woman. For me, I'm thinking about somebody who's going to be my partner and is going to, support me like I'm supporting them,
That's because you're thinking poor. That's why.
I've never been rich. If you want to show me how that feels, I'm ready for that. Let's do it, I'll be your bitch, you know, whatever you want
Oh
me to do.
my goodness.
I'll be over there working at the house. I got dinner ready when you got home and everything. All right. So, Darvin's, I don't even know what's going on right now.
I'm just trying to figure out, where's the quote unquote rich lifestyle? Because I don't know. That was a lot. I'm still trying to process it all.
You'll think you'll still have a problem with it because you'll think you're still the breadwinner, or you'll think you'll be diminished more of a man because you think she's gonna probably belittle you, or it'll go to her head that she's making more money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I would do it, to be honest. I mean, maybe if the opportunity arises.
Okay, so you have Scarlett at home, right? So if you worked and she worked, Scarlett gets out at, say, 2:45, right? 2:50. Okay, but you don't get home, say you get until 5 o'clock. So honestly, you get out to work till 5. She gets out for work, whatever, 6, 7. So that means she'll be in daycare like till 5:30 or 6. Then by the time you get home, you start making dinner, help her with homework. She's in bed by 9. So how much time are you spending her during the day, you know, which is like 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. So then rather than having the time with you, say 3 or 4 hours, like more hours, like two additional hours, she's losing it because of your, say, pride that you want to work when you didn't have to work, where you could have been spending that extra time with her.
No. I'm not saying I want to work. I'm just saying I wouldn't get into that position.
Oh, so you would choose a lesser
like
woman.
a millionaire girl or whatever. I mean, maybe I'll go for a few dates here and there.
But if she makes more than you, she goes, "Oh, I got you. I could take care of you if you want." You're like, "I'm out."
No, I mean, I'll try it because I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking, you know. So I'll try it and be like,
he needs a 90-day free trial.
Yeah, there you go.
90-day free
and
trial.
that's scot free. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Because I mean, if they're treating you perfect and everything, like, I mean, you're not gonna want to get out of it, you know. And it's not because of the money; it's just because of the way they're treating you.
So the first 90 days, if it's good, it's good. But the 91st day, she's all like, "Bitch, where's my dinner?"
Damn.
I'm just kidding, man. Can you imagine that shit? I'm in love with you 100%. I'm yours. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to give you some different scenario here. All right. Are you a man if you have a wife and 2 kids, but you work part-time, but your wife works full-time? Well, we just talked about the main breadwinner, right? But you don't live with them. You live somewhere else. You live at your parents' house. Are you considered a man? But you pay no child support or anything.
Yeah, you consider a man, a weak man.
I wouldn't be considered that a man. I'll consider that a boy.
Mm.
I mean, because are you really providing for your family? I mean, yeah, you don't have to be there. You know, you could be divorced, separated, you know. But I don't, if you have 2 kids and a wife or a spouse, even if you take the spouse away, because they are married. No, I'm not sure if they're married or not. Even if they're not married, all right, take the spouse away, you still got to provide for those kids. But if you're working on a part-time job that you barely have, and you barely have a job now and then because you keep losing your job, so you're not financially structured at all, because you could go for weeks to months without no job. How are you providing for your family at that time?
I agree 100%. You're a part-time man. Part-time, because you got a part-time job. You live with your parents, or you're a part-time renter / homeowner. And I mean, you're a part-time caregiver. Like, you can't. If you live at your parents' house, there's no reason for you not to be full-time working to try to actively get yourself out of that situation, because
some people don't want to get out of that situation because they don't have to pay anything. All they earn, even if they have a full-time job, all their money goes to them, and they get their fancy shit, their fancy shoes, their fancy this, you know?
No, I see what you're saying, but it's one of those things is like kids don't take necessarily what you hear, they take more what they see. So is that how you want, for me it's like, is that how I want my child to see me? See me working part-time, or see me going months without a job, or see me
Because
kind of
that's
hanging on.
that's exactly a good point. With exactly what you said. Because honestly, what he's seen in his life is men who didn't work, who blamed illnesses for their lack of work, and then but there's the women were the main breadwinners of this and took care of them, took care of her husband, her kids, now her grandkids, and still providing for her kids.
And there's a lot of women like that. And I have tremendous respect for women, I love them. I mean, that's what I love, right? But not all of them do that,
I think it's one of those situations where the women that provide like that don't end up with the men like that, and the men that provide like that don't end up with the women that appreciate that. It's just one of those things where it's very few times where they match up in that sort of they have that sort of match. We'll say it's a perfect match.
See, I have a problem with that. I don't understand that. That's just something that I can never comprehend. If you're a man and you considered yourself a macho man, I'm man, I'm macho. I work on trucks. I work on whatever. I'm this, I'm that. I'm a plumber. I'm whatever your trade is. But you can't provide for your kids. You can't provide for them at all. You can't provide for yourself. No matter what trade you have, you still can't provide because you don't want to go to work because you feel sick or you got this hurt, I've been in an accident so bad, like the wheels of the tires in the back came off. From there I went to work, and we had when I worked, we had to go up to the office to do stuff, to get stuff out of whatever we needed in the offices. So I was hurt real bad, but I still went to work that day, and I went up and down those stairs and everything, and I still went to work. I've been to work with all kinds of illnesses or whatever, I didn't go to work with a broken arm or anything, but I still went to work because bills need to be paid, Like I don't have the luxury to just say, fuck it, I'm not going to go to work today. Or I'm not going to work for 3 weeks because I don't feel good. I never had the luxury. So for some man to do that and do that constantly for years, but he's seen his older role models, people in his life do that, not be the breadwinners for years. Like I'm talking about 20, 30 years, for whatever reason. And then he chose to be like them. So when does the cycle break, And that's what I don't see. That's what I can't comprehend.
You break the cycle. Nobody else is going to break it for you. You decide whether you want to be
But this person doesn't want to break that cycle.
Okay, then.
Well, then he is going to attract and live in an environment where that allows it. Because at least for someone who I've seen, quote unquote, mental health affects their environment, affect their loved ones.
Now let's leave mental health out of this because it's not a mental health.
I'm saying as in just we'll say health. You're right. We'll say health because crazy people work at jobs every day. I mean, people who aren't feeling well go to work every day. Like you say, I go to work. I got the sniffles. I go to work. I got a cough. I go to work. I'm not feeling well. I go to work where I just feel like I just don't want to go to work. But guess what? I go to work. You go to work. Everyone goes to work.
Yep.
And that's where, as a man, work ethic is a big staple of it. Work ethic. Knowing you don't want to be there. I don't want to look at my boss. He doesn't want to look at me. But guess what? We're looking at each other at 12 o'clock. Still hating each other there. Just kidding. I love you, man. No, I don't. Okay. But
don't listen to this podcast.
I respect you. But I think that's just a big part of it, is just knowing you don't want to do it, but doing it anyways.
Yeah, I think because there's some people who say like, man, I just don't want to get out of work. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't feel good. I'm mentally drained. I'm depressed. I'm all that, and then they don't go to bed and they just don't go to work, and they're going to work, and then they lose their jobs, and then they whatever. And to me is, man, I don't have that luxury. If I could just say I don't want to go work for 3 weeks, that's a luxury, and be able to do it. But that just means that you really don't have responsibilities. You don't have nobody dependent on you. But when you do have people dependent on you, and you are relied on, then are you really considered an independent person? Because apparently, if you can live like that, you are dependent on somebody to pay your bills, to pay your mortgage, to do all
the
that.
government.
Well, government's part of it.
Quarter of the population of the U.S. relying on that. They're all drinking their 24 ounces while we're over there working at 5 o'clock in the morning and not doing a fucking thing for society.
And that's when you feel for those guys, like for construction. Like one day we were going to an appointment. I was taking my wife to an appointment. It was fucking cold. It was cold. And we're in medical center. And we turn to the right and we hear this guy goes, "Es frio." Like it's fucking cold. Because he's in construction. He's working outside. And he just says out loud, "It's frio." Like it's fucking cold. Like,
are you laughing about his Spanish or?
No. I'm laughing because it's cold. It's because he's screaming. It's cold.
Well, I can't say it out loud. I can't with feeling, But I'm just saying, like, but those are the guys that are out there busting it, and they're doing it not to be in those situations, But that's what I was saying, like what you said, the government and all that. But sometimes it's family members. Family members enable these people, or women enable these people, and then they become comfortable with that, and that's just something I can't comprehend. I would never comprehend a male figure chooses not to work or to work part-time and not provide for his family. That is just something I would never comprehend. And you're healthy, you're able, you're young, whatever it is, and you still can't provide. That's just crazy.
I will say, in any scenario that I'm not working full-time, I'm going to be a full-time husband and a full-time father in those aspects. And like you said, I don't think I have the luxury. None of us here have that luxury. So because of that, there is no choice for us not to work full-time. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you. There is no reason where, if you're able-bodied as a man, I guess, how you want to put it, to not be working full-time at something, whether it's clocking in at work or doing those things. I would say if you're not able to, quote unquote, have a job at the time, be doing full-time things as a father or as just keeping the house afloat until then.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears now.
Okay.
All right. Now, growing up, church was never really in our religion, or faith was not really in our household. It was in my grandparents' household because my grandparents, my uncle, my Aunt Mary, my Uncle Gilbert, they were known to be in church all the time. Their family was always in church. I went to church with them, and I think their church was Holy Family. And my grandfather was a known figure at San Martin de Porres, which is the church that they were at, Until his last day, my grandfather, well, not really, but he was able to move and all that. He was constantly at that church, Even if he didn't have a car, he would walk to that church, and he was a well-known figure. And so, but they were focused in church, But me, myself, and my parents were not church people. We thought church was just, my parents thought church was just stupid. It was a waste of time, doesn't do anything for yourselves, doesn't do anything, So I really didn't do church at all. When I met Dora Dora would go to church. I mean, her mom, but they would go late. You know, at first I was like upset that they would go late to church. You know, like I'm not a person that likes to go late, but then I'm feeling like, hey, wait a minute. They go to church late, so why am I bitching? And like, I'm not going to tell them no more. Let's make sure we go to church early. I'm like, because I'm saying when they go to church, I'm like, they're just giving the bread out. And that's like the last 15 minutes. And sometimes the bread's already given out, the Eucharist. I'm like, what is going on here? And my mother-in-law back then, you know, God rest her soul, you know, she would say like, hey, God doesn't care what time you get here as long as you get here. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he does. He does care what time you get here, you know, but so I'm just saying like before that, like I didn't really get religion until it was like 10 years ago, 2015. Like when I really started thinking about it and doing it, because my wife started getting into church, you know, and, you know, like she was religious, but not fully. Like she just started learning a lot of stuff with church, you know. So I was there, I saw her, you know, and I think we had Dawn. Remember Dawn? Okay. The reason I started getting into it is because she came up to me one day. I was in the fixture room. She comes up to me and she goes, no, at that time, me and Dawn did not get along. I didn't give a shit about Dawn. You know, even if she sees this podcast, she knows that we did not get along at all. I did not even want her on my team, you know. So she comes up to me. She goes, I know you're going to feel this, whatever. Like, you're not going to take this good, but God told me to tell you that he loves you. I'm like, okay. Well, you could tell you and your God, get the fuck out of here because you got stuff to do out there.
Oh, my goodness,
Damn.
Come on, man.
Fucking cold.
Jeez.
Damn, bro.
So, you know, maybe not in those words, but it was pretty much that.
No, it was those words. I'm pretty sure.
Whatever.
That was the message I gave her.
Same thing.
So that kind of stuck to me, right? You know, at the same time, Dora was the same time trying to get me into church too. I'm like,
the guilt kicked in,
and she's all like, you know, we will get, you know, money, whatever. I work overtime. We have extra money. Oh, thank God for this. Thank God. Shit, I'm the one who did the fucking work. I'm the one who did this. You know, I did it. God didn't do shit. You know, like fuck. Where was he at? You know, fuck. I was working this. So that was my mentality back then. You know, and plus, growing up for my family, that's what we thought about. You know. So, I mean, and then plus, you know, when you get older, you know, a lot of the things that we consider was important, it's not important. And then you start to mellow out and you're like, oh, shit, maybe there is something out there besides this. Maybe there was something helping me when there wasn't. So now I got a little bit more faith in me. And there's something that I do with faith. But when I go to church and I'm in these groups or ministries, I see a lot of young men. Now, when I say young men, I'm talking about in my 30s, like your age, and you're older now, but in your age too.
Excuse me?
So, and I'm like, man, if I had the faith back then, how would my life look now? So how do you feel in faith right now? What is your faith in Jesus? How do you are you religious? Do you have any faith? And if you do, Carlos, how do you implement it in your life right now? Or wait. Or do you not like talking about it?
No, I mean, I was raised in the church, Catholic, and I'm really not implementing it right now.
Now, I have to tell you this. Me and you have never really talked about faith, right? I think maybe once.
Yeah.
But that was it. But it was a small conversation. So me and you really never talked about Jesus and God and faith where you at. Now, I've been trying to get your daughter baptized. Me and my wife have been trying to convince you to baptize your daughter. But that's pretty much the furthest we've gone with this conversation.
Yeah, I know. When I was growing up, I was really into Catholic, you know. My father was very into it. My whole family, basically, on my father's side. And my mom got into it, and everybody got into it. And I guess once I started being on my own and stuff like that, I started fading out. And right now, I'm not into churches or anything like that, you know. That doesn't mean I'm not a believer, you know, Justin Bieber. But
You say Justin Bieber? You say Justin Bieber? Is that what you said?
A believer.
Oh, believer.
a believer. But hey, I mean, I'm still Catholic. At least I consider myself that. But to be honest, I have not been going to church or doing anything about that. I do want to get my daughter baptized eventually. But nowadays, like, nobody else gets with you, you know, like my ex doesn't go to church, doesn't, you know, she's not really in any religion or anything like that. So it's kind of hard for me to continue that path.
So you're waiting for somebody else to take the lead so you could follow.
I don't know. I guess you could say that. Because I'm always like that, you know, like I want somebody to push me to do something.
All right. I can understand that. I mean, because it took me a long time. But luckily I had this person that I shitted on her so much. I really did. I gave her so much shit.
Poor girl.
And I, like, everything
God
I
bless
thought
you.
about, like, all these, you know, one-liners or whatever, I gave her, but she answered them all.
Now, have you seen her since?
No.
Try to
No.
reach?
Have I seen her since then? Yes, I did.
You try to reach or anything? Like,
No, I haven't. Are you telling me I should? All right, I will. I'll do that.
I'm just saying. I'm just like,
All right.
hey, I fucked up.
What do you mean I
I
fucked
owe you
up?
an apology.
Why do
for
I owe her an
talking
apology?
shit to you about.
No, she knows everything about that. She understood.
Oh, okay.
She understood. Actually, they made her when I turned, I became a vampire.
You give me a fucking zombie or what? God damn.
She actually had to go to her church because I think David, her husband, told her, like, hey, he turned somebody who was antichrist and biggest atheist ever.
Oh, she turned you, actually?
She turned me into Jesus.
So she did.
She did. So they brought her up to her church, and she had to tell everybody how she got me into, how she got me to turn to Jesus and all that. And she said, I didn't even want to do it. She's like, I was just so awkward.
Fuck this fucking guy.
Because, I mean, I gave her hell.
He's a fucking
really
prick.
did.
He deserves to go
I
to
was.
hell.
I was a prick. I was a dick. I was everything. I was the biggest asshole to her, you know. But she took it. I mean, maybe that was the sign that for her to.
That was God's work on both
Yes.
sides. On both sides. That's what
Like
it
she
sounds
goes,
like.
and sure, God told her, "Look, I'm sorry, but you're the one who's going to turn this guy into me and look for me and be this way."
Because
to
I don't
me."
even want to touch that shit.
He goes, "I can't do it, but I know you could do it." You know.
Damn.
God said, "Nose ghost."
And I really was the biggest asshole to her. I really was. But she took it all, and she answered all my questions and all that and more. So
she gave you the toma at the end.
she goes, "I gotcha." So, but it worked out well. I mean, but every time you give yourself to Jesus, he tests you. And he strips every fucking thing from you. And from that point till I said yes to God, it was the worst year of my life from there. And that was 2016. That was the worst year of my life.
That
lot
doesn't
of
sound
shit
like a fun
happened.
thing to turn
I'm
into.
not gonna lie. When you said that, I was concerned because I was like, "Is that a thing?" Because if I felt like once I started to push towards my faith, we'll say it like that. Sometimes shit just goes downhill. Like shit just goes downhill. You just kind of realize there's so many levels you gotta there's so many, let's say, quote unquote, demons you have to face that, I'll be honest, for me, honestly, I wasn't ready for. God, I went through a gauntlet, and I'm still, in some ways, I'm still going through that gauntlet. But I think that for someone, like you said, who had to do trial by error, that speaks to God's blessing you in so many ways. And in a lot of ways, I'm kind of like that. So that speaks to God blessing us and God's grace. So I think there is a higher power out there for sure.
Yeah, because again, but I mean, it's taken me. We're 2025 now. I still have some resentment from that time, which I'm trying to let go, and I still haven't let go. And that brings me to this day now. Now, I think the previous podcast I talked about, I'm not sure if you guys were in it, that how I say the rosary now. Every time James goes to church, he goes to college, he drives and drives back. Rosary.
Dude, the rosary is fucking long as fuck.
Yeah, you know what happens though? Is I'm not thinking about him fucking crashing or busting a car or whatever. I'm praying the rosary. It's giving me like peace. It's calming me down where I'm not thinking about him fucking doing something wrong or whatever, or somebody crashing into him. So that's what, I mean, it calms me and it gives me peace. So by the time I'm done, he's already home or he's already at college. So that's what helps me with that. And that's one of the good things about religion is that if you focus on that, if you focus on Jesus, if you focus on all these prayers, you'll be surprised how much it mellows you out. But for me to say that I pray the rosary now, I mean, that's a fucking big step right there.
Hey,
I'm shocked. I'll be honest. I'm shocked. I was like, whoa.
No, one day.
so that's been into religion, praying, make you less of a man?
It depends. It depends. Okay. Now, it depends on what your definition of religion, because it's different. It's faith, you know. To walk with Jesus, to be with Jesus, to know to carry the cross, right? To carry the cross is a huge step, and it's a huge disappointment. When I say disappointment, it's because all that shit that you thought was fun is a sin. So you have to understand and come to conclusion is that
we shouldn't believe in religion.
What you think in life, what you think is fun, is maybe not as fun as you think it is. It's because if you're degrading women, if you're throwing money at women and all that, or whatever it is, I'm just saying that as a man, you know, or you're beating your wife, or you're drinking too much, or whatever. Who are you hurting at that time? You know, are you yelling at your kids or whatever it is? Like, who are you hurting?
Damn, you can't throw money at women?
You can.
Fuck,
but
bro.
I thought we were supporting, like, women's tuitions and things like that.
Yeah, they're all college girls.
So then what are you doing at that time?
I'm just kidding.
Somebody needs to go to the Exodus again. Somebody needs those cold showers again. You know?
Hold the shower, bro.
So then, like, who are you really helping? You know, you're not helping them. You know, you're enabling all these bad things. So when you carry that cross, you start questioning every fucking thing in your life. You know, should I, like, I'm at H-E-B. Am I supposed to eat those grapes? You know, you eat those grapes. You know, did you pay for them? Are you going to pay for them? You know, are you going to get that donut at the H-E-B by the time you leave? Are you going to pay for it?
Are you supposed to pay for those? You're supposed to pay for those?
You don't get a free shopping donut? Like, while you shopping around, you eat?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like,
man.
that's the shit you start thinking
So
about.
no cherries, no grapes, no nothing.
You're like, that's a sin. You know, you're stealing. You know?
They were stealing
So-
from the Steelers.
Sorry. When you confess this shit, when you're confessing to a priest, you're not you're not confessing to the priest. You're confessing to God, Jesus, right in front of you. He's right in front of you, and you're confessing to him all your shit. And if you leave something out, he knows. He knows, hey. I know you were on that Pornhub when the Pornhub was available back then. Not that I know it's not available anymore, but, you know, and like he knows everything you're doing. You know, it's kind of like Santa Claus, you know, like the father said one time in one of the homilies he was saying, was that? And I'm like, so when I go to confession, I fucking love confession because I could just say every fucking thing because I know he knows everything. So there's nothing I can't hide.
To some random dude.
Not really, because I know these fathers, these preachers, and these deacons, and I'm the fathers. I know who they are, and they see me at church, so it's not like it's a secret, you know. But I'm able to confess it, but then I let it go, you know. But if I'm going to the Father and confessing the same thing, then maybe there's problem. There's a problem, and He's going to tell me because He's told me one time, like, hey, there's a problem here, buddy. You confessed this 3 times already. When are you gonna
address it?
Yeah. When are you gonna? What did he tell me? When are you gonna next time? When are you gonna come to Jesus and God and tell him that you stopped it? You know, because you're coming here knowing that you're gonna do it. So why confess this when you're not done with it? You know. And I'm like,
so did you fix it? Did you fix it?
Oh fuck yeah! Right there, I fixed that.
You got rid of all those children in the shed. Hey, just saying. I don't know.
So I had to go to everybody around here, let them know that I'm a sex offender.
All right.
Just kidding.
That's good.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not a sex offender. I'm not just kidding. I'm not. All our subscribers go.
Let's edit that part right there.
I'm just saying it goes very deep with that. It goes very deep with once you understand religion, once you understand the faith, once you understand that what Jesus really went through, and you comprehend what he went through, and you see it. And there's a movie coming out. It's going to be the Resurrection, right? With Mel Gibson directing it because he did the Passion of the Christ.
No way.
He's coming out with the Resurrection.
What?
I know he has to show the full what really happened. And I really hope he does show what really happened to Jesus.
As close as possible.
As not being a rated MA or whatever. Because what they did to Jesus on that cross was fucked up, dude. That's like something you just vomit and shit, you know?
And I was going to answer this question is that I think that praying to the higher power, praying to God is not being a man if you're not willing to put in, when it sounds like what you're doing, the work. Because as they say, I don't have the scripture, but prayer without work is dead. And that's just what it comes down to. If you're not willing to work at what you're praying for, then that's weakness. That's not being a man. That's not pulling your full intent into whatever you're doing.
You keep telling people something. You're gonna
I can't
go forward with it.
You can't tell God, you can't tell your family that you're working at something if you're not actually putting in the work to do that. And again, like you were saying, it's hard. It's very hard to go to God and to ask him to help you with something when you know in the back of your mind that you haven't tried to fix it. And that's where I feel like that's not being a man. That's being weak or whatever term they may have for that.
So that actually turns you to a different person. And then you become a different father. And then you start talking differently. You start giving different advice. You know, you start seeing things in a different way, you know? And when somebody cuts you off, you're not doing this. You're doing this, you know, like, and you're doing this for yourself because you're like, man, don't bring that fucking demon out right now. You know, don't do that. Don't fucking tailgate him or shine your lights on him or whatever, you know, or pass him up and throw your you call your window wiper so you could throw the water back at him, like.
Or just tap him a little bit in the back and let him fucking go off the road.
Not anymore. And then you pass him up and it's an old lady like, fuck.
You're like, see ya, you're in the fucking grass now.
She's got her what's it called? A Christian,
Crucifix?
got a crucifix on her dash, like, oh my God, I'm sorry.
And it's your boss. Oh. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, oh shit, that's my wife.
No, worse, it's your kid.
Yeah, I know. Fucking idiot. Why are you driving like that?
I didn't teach you that. It's your mom. So this was a good conversations to start with, just to start about what defines a man and how much religion is in a man to really talk about. I think there's still a lot more to talk about, a lot more to say about this, and we hope to get to, or we are going to get to more conversations with that. But before we go, there's one thing here. I'm going to tell you guys, all right? Carlos, how are you feeling 100% today? Like, how are you feeling today? How are you at home? How are you mentally, physically? How is everything today? If you would give yourself a 1 to 10, 1 is like, I give up. 10 is like
about 75%.
Okay, 1 to 10 is not 75%.
7.5.
7.5.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
There we go. We're getting somewhere.
I'm good at math. No, I'm just playing. I'm not.
And what will keep that 25% for you to make you feel a 10 today?
I think it's mostly about me, myself, my mental health or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Like, what do you feel today? Like you need more something to motivate you more, make you energetic, or
Yeah,
not enough
yeah,
day,
yeah.
not enough hours
mean,
a day?
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, it's motivation, mostly motivation. It's like trying to do things that actually I get excited about.
Because when you you get home by what, 2 or 3 o'clock or 3:30 or?
Well, I get off at 1:30, but then I have to pick up my daughter and stuff like that. I don't get home till like 4:30.
So what do you do between 1:30 and your time to pick her up at 2:30?
I drive, I go home, shower, get ready, and then go pick her up.
All right, you drop her off about 3 o'clock, right?
No, I pick her up about 3 o'clock now.
Okay.
They get off later now. I pick her up. No, they get off at 3 o'clock. I pick her up at about 3:20, 3:30. That's when after all, the fucking lines are crazy, bro.
Yeah, I seen them.
They're fucking
I lived those
crazy.
damn lines before too.
That's insane.
I'm not looking
I'm
forward
like,
to that
fuck.
as a father. I see these, what's it called?
That's super
Those
crazy.
lines. They're like stopping like main street traffic.
Yes, they are.
I used to go
To-
right after work, right? I get off at 1:30. I'll be there by like 2:10. And I was there till 3, and then they started releasing them. But before I got there, there was already a big line of parents waiting. And I still get off or get out of there almost at the same time, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes before,
Yeah.
But now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go home, shower, take the dog to take a shit, and then fucking I'll go pick up my daughter, right?
Yeah.
So I'm good. I get there by around 3:05, and there's still a big ass line. And after me, there's another line. I'm like, shit, man.
Because you got to think about it. Every kid in elementary needs to be picked up. I mean, there's
And there's a lot of them
10% that walk.
A lot more than that. Walk and parent pick up on the outside, like.
That's that
Yeah,
parent
it's
pickup
crazy.
line.
Those lines are crazy. It doesn't get better with high school either.
Oh, really?
Does not get better.
Well, at least they can fucking walk somewhere now.
Yeah, that's what I had to do with James. I had to
Like,
make
fuck,
him
you
walk.
better fucking be over there. I'll be
walk
there
like
at
a
fucking
quarter
4
mile
or
so I
whatever.
could pick him up. But even there was a line too because people do the same
Are you
shit.
serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't get any better. They just but then you're in the streets with those fucking kids that just learning how to
You can
drive.
get a license at 16, right?
That makes sense. Oh my goodness, that makes sense. Because I'm
What?
wondering, because driving back, sometimes I'm like, why are they driving like idiots? That makes sense.
Because they're just learning how to drive.
It's an idiot like myself and the idiot teens that were all trying to fight to get back to the home.
How about
Hey,
you,
bro.
Darwin? How you feeling?
It's gonna be your kid one day, driving like an idiot.
Yep. Mine's did.
They still do.
It's gonna have to have a good insurance policy. That's all it's gonna have to happen, and a lot of prayer.
You don't want a good insurance
Rosary.
policy.
Rosary. You gonna do the
A lot of
rosary?
rosaries.
Father Smith.
You're gonna
rosary.
go from like fucking 120 to like 580 or something like that.
Oh,
once you
that
put your
shit has
kids in
happened.
there.
That has happened to me.
Yeah.
Right now, I was at an 8.
Was it good?
I was at an 8, but now I'm like at a 4. Subtracting the deductible, I mean not deductible, the premium I'm gonna have to pay eventually. No, I'm just kidding. I'm at an 8. I think for me, emotionally, sometimes I'm a little high, I'm a little low. I'm just trying to stay sort of leveled. I think that's why I'm at an 8. I think 2% is kind of accepting that.
As long as you keep them demons out, right? As long as you keep them demons out.
Right. That's it. That's right. But I would say an 8. I'd say an 8. Just trying to stay level.
What about you, James? Let's talk about you.
He wasn't finished. He was still talking
No,
about
that's
his-
it. That's it. I'm at an 8. B minus.
For myself, I would, I don't know, maybe about a 7. I'm excited about this podcast. I'm excited about this today. But I just did a podcast yesterday, so I got to edit that. I got one dash cam that I got in today that I got to do a review about. So I got a lot of shit to do right now, you know. And then I got to edit this podcast out.
That's good. That keeps you busy, right?
Yeah, it does. It keeps me too busy sometimes, and which is good because I have
Keeps the
to.
demons out.
Because if I'm not busy, this thing in here, it starts going crazy and starts telling me shit, and then I'm like, yeah, I think it's okay to go burn that car across the street. And I'm like, yeah, we should do
We
that.
should go to the mall with a fucking AR-15.
No, not
Not that kind of?
no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no,
Oh, is that just me then?
no, just
Okay.
burn a car, but steal it, you know. But that's about it, you know. I'm like, man, you know. So, but that keeps me good, you know. And but I think after this podcast, I think I'll do good. I'm excited about this podcast. I'm excited about, you know, talking more about this stuff with keeping the women out right now, because the podcast we had that women that one time, I'm like, oh my god,
Bad.
that was crazy, you know. And I thought having
You know
a wife.
you're gonna get backlash or for those
Hey,
comments.
they can make their own
They
podcast.
can make their own. Exactly.
own
No, for those comments.
They can do it by the kitchen. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
They can do it while they're making a sandwich for us.
Just kidding.
Damn straight. Damn straight. They're like, I'll make you a sandwich for you right there. Right there. There you go. There you go. There you go. There's a sandwich right there. Eat it. But, all right. Well, thank you, Darwin, for being here. Thank you, Carlos.
Yes, sir. Thanks for inviting.
Thank you, Rocky, who's not here.
Rocky, thanks so much.
He wasn't feeling good. Hopefully next time we'll be doing this. He'll be here. Until next time, thank you for our first episode of Men Unfiltered, brought to you by Unfiltered Circle Podcast, brought to you by all the equipment, everything provided by JD Wired YouTube channel.
Follow.
Damn.
And also Little Caesars. I'm waiting on that brand deal. I'm not
Damn,
playing
Little
with you
Caesars.
guys. I want it.
You better step up.
Step up.